Okay, it's recording. So I changed my character, by the way, because the last one was kind of ass, not very good. What? Thank you. I don't know if I can find the old one. I don't know where the old one's gone. No. Oh dear. Did I delete the old one? No, that's version 2. I do not know what happened to the original. Oh, there it is. Well, it's all in pieces, but you can... Yeah, I can't remember. But it just doesn't look at all the same. So I went back, and this is like just an explanation that you should... If something doesn't look quite right, do spend the time, because I'm way happier with this one than I was with the last one. It looks way more like it fits in the game. I went back to look at their concept art and their actual screenshots from the game, and kind of like try to really emulate what it was. And there was a lot of stuff I wasn't doing. So it's like side on, it's full side on. The red cheek is way redder. There's this kind of like curve to the face that wasn't there in my other one, and they've elongated hair and head. The cape was double cape, so I did all those changes, and it looks way better because I put in the effort to try and copy them a bit more. So anyway, let me go to the actual game and just show you how it plays right now. So it's the same kind of thing as I did the last time. I have a walk, an idle, and a run. It takes quite a while to launch up, sorry. At least it's charged. What?
You expected to last for a week?
No, lost a day. Yeah, day and a half. It's not great, is it? Well, it should be a lot faster. Alright, so hopefully you can see there. So that's the walk animation. It probably has too much. And then it should run. And it should idle. Cool. So I'll show you how to do those animations, as in like how to get them working and the theory behind them. So hopefully you can be able to do your own. So let me open up that character, and there's the animator, window, animation. Let's go find it. There it is. Let me move that character. Actually, let me open up the test scene, actually. So test scene will be less messy. Cool, there we go. So here's the test scene. Apologies for the giant IKs. They're a bit annoying and they're in the way. But hopefully you should be able to see kind of what I'm doing. So the first thing you want to do is identify a flat ground. So like have a flat surface that you know that they're animated on. So that like, you know, whenever you're running or whatever, the feet stay on that point. Because really what we're doing is making it run in space, in midair. So we want to make sure the feet stay on a flat surface, because it's not done by physics. It doesn't find the surface and then stick onto it. You can do that, but it's a completely different system. But we're just animating it. So let me just make a new animation. Test idle. And I'll show you that. So you need to have animation on. I need a flat surface. So I can use, let's say, this bridge, and I'll just bring that over. What's that bridge? Oh my god. Huge. And I'll just put it there just to be a flat surface to reference, essentially. Okay, so go back to the animator. Cool. So I want to do test idle. I need to have animation on, so like keyframe recording on. And what you always want to do is you always want to work from the bone that affects the body the most, and then do the external limbs first. So like if you imagine it, like where would you lasso whip someone and you'd be able to pull them away? So if you grab my arm will rip off, right? You grab my head will rip off. You grab my waist is probably the most safe thing. Where would you like link someone that would be the core of them? And generally it's like the pelvis area. Okay? So I want to work with that first, and I'll move the pelvis area first. Everything else is based on the movement of the main bone because everything else is childed to that pelvis bone. If you remember from the start. Does that kind of make sense? Remember, everything was childed to the pelvis. So because the pelvis is my main bone, I'll use that first. So for the animation, I'm just going to do a really simple one. I'll just move it. I'll just make it look like basically the character's doing like this. Okay, it's not kind of idle. So let me just do that. Move the character down. Oh, sugar. The character down, and you can see that doing it on already. As soon as I moved, it added the keyframe at the start and the bottom, and at the middle. And I can just copy the first one and put it at the end, and you should see. There we go. And it's idling-ish. It's not great, but it's kind of an idle. All right. The legs I don't need to worry about because they're IK, so they'll stay where they are. The arms, I probably like no one idles like this. Right. That's what it's doing right now. The arms are staying in place. So I'll probably do something with them as well. I'll probably make the arm move. And the near arm. So you can kind of see it idles like that. The arm moves back. And it hasn't gone forward yet because I need to copy the first frame and paste it at the end. Now, whenever you're doing animations, try to keep them in line like this. You see that way I'm always making the middle animation always in here. Now the problem with that is that it looks like everything happens at the same time. But try to keep them in line at the start and later we'll move them, separate them out so it looks more fluid. So again, let me go here. Let me just show you what I mean. I'll do the neck bone. You can just select them here as well. So I'll make her do that and head comes up. And I'll make this hair kind of like move in the wind. So there we go. And then it should go back to normal. So if I copy this and paste it back here. So if I play, all those little things are moving at the same time. If it's too fast, just grab all of them and just extend them. Okay, so it's now slower. So now, as I said before, everything's moving too much at the same time. Oh, I could do the cape as well. Yes, after. Let's just do that and that. I'm just going to do a very simple one. So the cape just kind of flares out. Okay, cool. Copy the front and paste it back. Cool. So if I animate, there we go. Okay, but now everything happens exactly the same time. So it all starts at one frame, all happens in the middle, and all goes back to the end. So it looks fine, but it's a little unrealistic. What I can do now that I have the animation, I can then start moving some of these, so like the coat bones and these, and just try to have them separated out. And you can be a bit smart about where you put it, so you can be like, oh, the neck bone, I'll make the neck bone move first, and then the head bone will follow. So the neck bone will go before the head bone, for example. You can control them like that. And now if I press play, it's very subtle. I don't know if you can tell the difference. It's a really subtle difference, but now it's like the coat follows a little bit behind everything else. Just feels a lot more realistic. It's not all the animations all happen at the same time. It's subtle, but it makes a big difference. Okay, dokes? Does it show at all, or it does? Okay, cool. So always do that. Always do like the basic minimum, and the minimum for idle is like start one position, down one position, back up. That's the minimum. Do that minimum first, and then move them. Because if you start doing this in the middle, it starts getting messy, as you can see. So just make sure you have the actual animations first. Right. So let me do a walk now, or a run. I'll do a run, and create a new clip. Test run. So run is going to be one of the more complicated ones. So what I want to do essentially is I want to start the animation in the middle of the run. So it'll be literally like that. The other thing to remember is with my left foot forward, my right arm is forward. Right? No one runs like this. So unless you're who? Soldier.
Yeah, you know, soldier.
I mean, marriage maybe would not.
Yeah, I know, but like, we're told to watch like that.
Can you? What? Okay, so first of all, I'm gonna set the character so it's more in a forward stance. so it's pushing forward because it's running. Do that with the torso as well, so it's more of a forward. And I can have the neck up, so the head's looking upwards.
Do you need to animate between those two?
Between what two?
Between like.
I'm only starting at the first frame now. Oh sugar, I did not press record. So, always press record. Yay.
You have on play.
I had it on not record, so that's just great. I mean, you can still continue. You can set keyframes, but let me just do it the proper way. Okay, and then because it's halfway through the run, let me make the cape be like flowing in the wind. What? This. Isn't it so much better? How long did it take you? That took me like... No!
Oh look, are you running into trouble with your fancy?
It's fine.
You know, we're gonna have trouble when you do this because you have to make
Okay, so I need my far arm is forward and then my near arm is going to be back, which means my far leg is going to be forward. So I generally, it's up to you. There's loads of ways how to do a walk cycle. I prefer to do it like this, where it's in the middle of just about to hit the ground. So there's running. It's like you're literally in the middle of it, like almost a leap run, and the character is about to impact the ground. And I'll show you why. It just makes it, for me, it makes it a lot easier. So let's say that's the first frame, okay? That's done. That means my last frame will end here as well. So my last frame here, let's make it like a 1 second run. No, half a second run. Is that correct? Yeah, let's make it that. And then my middle frame will be essentially exactly the opposite. So the far leg is going to go up here. The near leg is going to go down. And then the arms are just going to swap. And it's going to look real dumb, you'll see now in a sec. It will look really dumb, and that's okay. So, is that right? Okay. If I press play, that looks so dumb. Okay, let me slow it down a little. Actually, so you can see it. So it looks really stupid. It looks like she's just gliding in air, right? Because we don't have any weight in there. It doesn't feel like any weight has happened. So this is where we're going to start. We're going to start putting in some weight. So let me grab the pelvis and the torso. Where are they? Pelvis and torso. Oh, sugar. And I'll just copy them to make sure they are the same. Actually, all of these as well. Okay, so it's going to go like that. But in the middle of these, so I've done like this first, the last, and the middle. In the middle of each of them, I'm going to do a impact frame. So here, I'm going to make the torso, sorry, the pelvis hit down. And it can rotate forward as well a little if you want. So it kind of looks like she's impacting the ground. And you can do it with the head as well, like the head kind of bounces down. So let's see. So it kind of goes down. So you see the body looks a lot better. And it looks like she hits the ground. The legs are screwed. So let's go look at which leg is this? Far leg. So at this point, and if you're ever stuck, either go look at an animation or go walk yourself. So when you're doing walking, that leg stays planted where it is as I push my entire body forward. So that leg stays there. But because I'm running in space, like in place, I'm just going to put the leg here maybe. Let's see. Yeah, so it looks like it pushes, stays there, and then pushes away. Does that work for y'all? Let's put it back a bit. So hits the ground, stays there, and then pushes up. So that's grand for that one. And let's do it for the other leg then. The other leg is near leg. So that one's fine. And then pushes on the ground here. Guys, if you don't want to pay attention, that's completely fine. Please keep it down. Thank you. Alright, so you can see and I don't really need to do it for the arm, because the arm kind of just rotates. So you can, if I press play now, hopefully the legs look alright. I don't have the second hit the ground, so let me just grab them again. So that is the pelvis bone, rotation, torso here, Control C, and copy it there. So now let's see. So you can kind of see that it's hitting the ground, impacting. It feels a lot better. The arms are doing a stupid thing where they're kind of like squishing in and squishing out. So I'll probably need to put keyframes for them as well. So arm IK. Your arm IK. And the same with this. Cool. All right. After this, I can go back and go to the code and do all the secondary animations, because I've done my main animations now. Have I? Have all of them worked? Yeah, more or less all my main animations are done. So I can go back now and start adding secondary animations. So I had the head rotation, head, bone, and neck, hair bone here. Copy and paste it there. And I'll do some coat stuff as well, just really quickly. Oh. And again, once I'm complete, then I'll go and separate them out. What? Alright, cool. Alright, it's not great, but it works. So if I press play, that's done. And then just to make it realistic and more realistic and not to have everything happen at the same time, now you can select, keep the first, middle, and last frames the same, because they're kind of like where they're going to end, and they're like the main frames, so just keep them the same, and you can adjust the other secondaries. And hopefully this should look pretty... Cool. And again, if the speed's not good, just grab everything, pull it together. Cool. And that's how you do a run animation. Okie dokes. Any questions? No questions. Yes, question. Yes. No, you wouldn't be able to use what I'm doing, which I'm just literally grabbing the bones and moving them around, right? What you would probably have to do is find a walk animation that you like or are trying to emulate, and you would have to do every frame, basically. It's a bit more pain. But that's why I was like, frame by frame. If you want to do it, it's fine. It is more work. Get it working. And the other thing is, let's say you're in the walk cycle, you did all walk cycle, and you're like, oh no, when I put it in Engine, I can barely see it or something like that. I can just go in right now and just edit it. You wouldn't be able to. So that's like pros and cons. But then you get a specific look in that, which I can't. For example, I can't make the cape billow. Like in the actual game, it's frame by frame for the cape, and you can see it actually billowing, and it's got like it looks like it's folding on each other and stuff. I can't do that with this. I can only mesh animate it. There's ways you can do it, but it's a pain to do. All right, and then I had it set up the same way that I showed you the last time. So idle, I had idle, walk, and run, and they're being controlled by the animator. So what you'll need to have for me at the end of this, you'll need to have idle, walk, run. You'll have to have a jump. I'll set it all. I think it's in the classroom. But yeah, so like the jump, the fall, the impact, and all that. And when to call them, you are going to decide when to call them. Alright, so for example, let me give you a simple example. When would I call a jump? Using these parameters that I have. When would I tell it to go to jump animation? When it's not grounded. Now there is one thing that you haven't seen that I will show you now, which is you can do this. You can do like a from any state, right? Which means no matter what's playing, and any state will interrupt it as long as conditions are met. So let me do like a stupid jump. It's not a great jump, but it'll be fun. Let me go to the scene, and let's just make it. I'll just do that, okay? Just so we know that it's animating a jump. It's gonna be really dumb. Leave me alone. Okay, so it's really dumb, but at least we'll know that it's doing the jump animation. So I have that set up. It's there. It should show up in the animator. There you go, stupid jump. So I can, from the any state, go right click, make a transition as normal, and on that transition, I just tell it when should I jump? When grounded is 0, you said? When grounded is false, you mean? So okay, let's do stupid jump when grounded is false. So let's see how that works. I probably wouldn't just do it like this, by the way, because remember you have a fall as well. So grounded will be false even if you just fall off a cliff or something. It will still go false. So I probably will want to put a parameter in here for grounded is false and vertical speed is greater than 0.1, let's say, which means it's going upwards. So it's in the air and going upwards, it'll play jump. And then I'll play in the air and going downwards, that will play my fall later on. Does that make sense? Yeah? Okay, let's try that. Oh, and I need an exit from this, so I'll make a transition back to idle, probably. And that will happen when grounded is true. Cool. Let's see if that works. Oh, sugar, one thing, I forgot one thing. Stop. Really? Ugh. Sorry. I shouldn't have pressed play. Okay. I will probably turn off the exit time because I want it to go directly back to idle. I don't want it to wait until the entire jump animation has played. So that should work in my scene now. Save. Press play. Fingers crossed, this works. Okay, cool. Running works fine. Idle works fine, and let's do a little jump. There you go, it's playing the stupid jump animation. So dumb. But because it's the parameters are set up, it'll just play whatever animation it's up to play during those parameters. Okay, so you'll need to figure out when to play a jump, when to play a fall, and when to play impact. Cool? Any questions? What? Where's the spider?
It looks like a little spider.
Does look like a little spider. Yay! Alright. Okay, so that is